I just want to let you know these guys are going to be huge. I'm talking major label huge. These guys are going to be big. You're going to love them.
We ready?
Should we get started?
Are you okay with me sitting this close to you?
Yeah.
My dog is like...
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Cars. Hi, Cars.
my dog is in my spot.
Cars is like, get away from me.
Too close.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Relatively Funny, the podcast where two sisters and one brother share their interests with one another. I'm Emma, and I have been listening to Fall Out Boy from Under the Cork Tree, Alkaline Trio, Motionless in White, Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, LA Not So Confidential, Something Was Wrong, Two Hot Takes, Wine and Crime, and That's Why We Drink. That I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
What's everyone else listening to and drinking today?
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm Mackenzie. I am drinking I have to read it. Venti chocolate hazelnut cookie cold brew from Starbucks. I did sugar-free vanilla syrup instead of regular vanilla, so it's not as sugary because it's very sugary. Light ice and almond milk. If they did that, it doesn't look like they did almond milk. I hope they did.
Whoa.
I don't know what it is, but it's delicious.
Your tummy's gonna be grumbling.
Yeah. We don't drink dairy that much, so that's gonna be weird. But the cold foam is dairy, so yeah.
So,
It's your mic. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
oh, yeah, that.
I was
green
like,
light?
why is there just a straight line? But that's because you're not saying anything.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, oh
and
no.
also, it's weird, my mic doesn't show accurately how loud it is. Maybe it's my voice. I don't know, but.
Interesting.
Nice.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Carry on.
You're
Continue.
good. So that's what I'm drinking. I've been listening to the same artists as usual. Lots of Saweetie this week.
Ooh.
Coy Leray, Bia,
Leray.
B-I-A. I don't know if that's how you say her name. And SZA. So, same
Cool.
as always.
Nice.
Go for it, Carson.
Okay, I'm Carson, and I'm drinking water today. That's it. Musically, I've been listening to Coldplay. Same thing. Coldplay, Mazzy Star, The National, John Mayer. Yeah,
Nice.
that's it.
Cool. It's funny to see how we don't change much.
I mean,
Throughout the
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. Week to week, I
Yeah.
don't know.
There's no time in the weeks to change your routines.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's starting. Sorry.
Oh no, that doesn't matter. I was just gonna say I feel like mine only changes because in my job I literally can just sit and listen to whatever I want.
my
So it
gosh.
changes often because I just work in my cubicle and I pop in my AirPods and I do my work and that's my day. And it's
So
Yeah.
nice.
my favorite job ever. So but yeah, so I think for me it changes maybe more. I don't know. I mean, I'm still very consistent.
Yeah.
I'm very stuck in my ways, but it could change if I wanted it to.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's like I'm listening to the same people, just like different songs. And then
Yeah.
like, these are just the people I
Yes.
listen to the most. Because I feel like I do listen to a lot of different people throughout the week, but not consistently. Like if I listen to one song by like Joji, I don't want to be like, oh, I've been listening to Joji.
Yeah,
I've only
that's fair.
Listen to one song, you know?
Gotcha. Oh, yesterday, Chris and I went out to dinner, and we drove out yonder.
Okay.
To the nearest town, like 20 minutes away, right? And so we drove out there to go to dinner, where Neeks works.
Oh,
And
fun.
so we went out there because we were like, nothing really sounds good here, so let's go. And we're like, maybe Nico will be working tonight. He wasn't,
No,
but you know.
I was golfing with him.
Well, that makes
Should have
sense.
texted.
Yeah.
I know, I should have been like, hey, where's Niece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we went out there and I took Chris down a path of music yesterday.
Ooh.
I played some of the songs that we talked about on our Valentine's Day episode, and I just took him down Metro Station's album
Oh my gosh.
from 2008 I think is when it came out, and we just listened to the whole thing.
Oh wow.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was so much fun. I know every single word still. I remember the dance moves I used to do.
Oh yeah.
And because of course I had dances that went along with the songs.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what you did. And I was like, oh my god, I was such a dweeb for, thinking that this was peak love songs. Because I was
know.
like, Kelsey I was like, I don't know, man. I thought that this was like so romantic. And I was like,
yeah.
I was such a dweeb for thinking that. And he goes, was? And
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
okay, well, come on. It's
I
like-
mean, at the time, our
just might have changed because like even watching like old Disney movies that I thought were so cool, like I was like, if you watch them now, you'd be like, how in the world did I think this was
Yeah.
remotely cool? Like Camp Rock
oh my
is the
gosh,
cringiest thing
I
I've ever
know.
seen in my life, but we thought it was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, at least the memory of it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you watch it now and you're like, oh,
Oh my gosh, I would not watch it now. I
Yeah.
could not.
I think we
I think you
should
watch
to
it.
feel the discomfort and see how much we remember.
Well,
because
and-
I think I could still do the dances.
We had
Yeah.
dances to every single song.
Yes, we did. And
my
I really
gosh.
think, well, we'd need a trampoline because
They were
that
all done
was-
on a trampoline.
Yeah.
because that was when we were obsessed with the trampoline.
Yeah.
We made dances to every song we loved, and the choreography directed by me
Yeah.
had to be perfect.
Yeah.
I had high expectations.
Yeah. Limited resources too, might I add.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not for
She did
you,
the
but
best
like no.
that she had.
I wasn't even talking about you, but like the trampoline. Like that's
Yeah.
we pretty much had to go on the trampoline because there was too much going on in the house. If you remember which
Oh.
house we were staying in at the time. In
I
a
think
different
so.
state.
Oh.
Oh,
That is
yes.
true.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
was
that
thinking
was. I thought you were talking about our house.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, what?
No,
I'm like,
it
do
was-
we need to pause for some trauma dumping?
No,
What's happening?
Do you,
I do remember
Do you
that.
remember though? That's
Oh.
we were there the first time we watched it. And made up all our dances
Oh,
outside.
sure do.
Yeah,
That-
crazy.
I remember the tank top I was wearing. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't that
'Cause we
odd?
had,
and
like,
I found
4
a butter knife
outfits.
in the forest. Like,
Oh yeah.
and-
Remember the caterpillar tree?
I remember that.
Yeah.
No.
There were so
That's
many
the
caterpillars
first
on
thing
the
I thought
tree.
of.
Really?
Yeah.
They were like green fat caterpillars all over this tree, and it was like
Oh.
Multiple
crazy.
trees, I think.
Oh,
You-
really?
You go look for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. That sounds very us.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I remember Carson falling
Yeah.
down the hill.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
told
that
the
was
kids about that
Oh,
horrible.
Cars,
not long
that,
ago, and
And
I
Emma, like
still think
wiped
about
it clean.
that and
Oh, man.
am horrified that it happened because I remember everyone was like, "Oh, he's okay," and I ran
Oh
over
my
to you
gosh!
Yeah.
and I like picked you up, my little baby brother.
I can like smell the dirt.
Oh my god, that could make me cry.
I
You
know.
just gotta look back and laugh now, but
I can't.
in the moment, yeah.
I can't because I just
It was
remember the
horrifying.
horror
Yeah.
and the feeling. I mean, I remember giving you a bath and like trying to wash you off
Yeah.
and Carson,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
so
teeth.
terrible.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was so bad.
And
That
no one
sucked.
cared like I
I
did.
know,
Or like
no, the
when-
reactions were not.
and or like
adequate.
when you fell in the didn't you fall in the water when we were fishing and
Probably, I don't know.
and I was like, he's going to drown if you don't.
Oh my
wash
gosh, I don't
him."
remember that. That's
Oh my
scary.
god, I was horrified. I was like, why are you? Anyway,
Ugh, let's move
Carson's
on.
like laughing, and I'm like,
Yeah, well, it's different for me
Horrifying,
because
yeah.
I didn't have to like. I didn't really worry about it.
oh, I
think.
was,
like
You were too little.
worried about
super
you.
young, so
Well, so if I was 11 or 12, you were like 7.
yeah,
I feel like you guys were younger.
yeah. I feel like
I mean, all of us. I
feel
feel
like I
like
was,
we were
like,
all younger.
6.
Yeah.
See? Okay, anyway.
I don't know.
Well, we can talk about this afterwards. We'll unpack the trauma later.
I don't want to talk about it.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Who wants to go start? Okay. Who wants to go first today?
I don't care.
I don't care. I feel like I go first a lot, but I'm also fine with going first.
You should go first, sis. You've never gone first.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, buckle up. Mm-hmm. Because today, I bring to you the topic of paranormal doppelgangers.
Nice. I love this.
This is perfect. I love it.
This is perfect because I saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
At the store.
Okay.
my heart just sunk. I was like, wait, what? Are you being
I love
serious?
this kind of stuff. I'm so excited.
Okay, so you guys, I don't know how to explain how far I've gone into this topic. It has been thrilling and horrifying. Like on my 15-minute breaks instead of crocheting like I usually do, I have been scrolling through like forums and research journals, and I mean there's like neurologists who study this type of phenomenon.
That's crazy.
It's fascinating.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
So let's start with what a doppelganger is. And I say I'm emphasizing the G in doppelganger because I've heard other people say that, and you know, it could be like phthalates where I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. But let's just go with it.
Phthalates.
Phthalates? I really thought that it reminds me of that like little Italian greyhound Steven.
Yeah.
With the sweater on.
Yeah.
Phthalates. Steven.
Yeah.
So anyway, so let's start with what a doppelganger is. The word doppelganger translates literally to double walker or double goer in German.
That's scary.
And it refers to a wraith, which is a ghost or a spirit. And that looks like, acts like, and talks like us, but they aren't us.
Oh, there was a movie about this
Us?
that Anthony and I watched. Well, I mean that one, but it was specifically about wraiths, but they were kind of like fairies, and they like would look like other people.
Okay, that's folklore though. That's like an
yeah.
actual thing. I was reading.
Sounds like it.
This isn't in my notes, but there is this in the Orkney Islands of Scotland. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's Orkney. Orkney.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
The Orkney Islands in Scotland, they have this huge fear of these fairy beings. There's a specific name for them. I think it's like trow, something like that. And I'll link the article I read in the show notes. I'll give it to you, Carson. I still need to give you my other one, so sorry about that.
It's all good.
But so basically there's this huge fear with pregnant women that they would be, you know, healthy and giving birth to these healthy babies, but these little fairies would switch them with these changelings, and then they would.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff.
And then the changelings would be these weak little skinny babies that take on the form of the baby, like the same form as the baby that was born, but it's really unhealthy. And it's really fascinating.
That's so sad.
But that was one of these stories.
Yeah.
Like, this has been around forever, and they've been in literature and legends for centuries. Like, the skinwalkers in Navajo legend is legends.
Yeah.
Navajo legends.
Yeah.
Is one of them. So sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm like getting a
you're
little
good.
tongue-tied because I'm like,
No, you're
listen,
good.
listen.
Because there's legends about it. Like, if there's a reason for people to come up with these stories, like, I feel like it's very legitimate.
And the fact that they have been around for so long too, just like
Centuries.
yeah, and the skinwalker, that's like the only thing that I don't like. Maybe not talking about, but like the only one that gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Skinwalkers.
I don't really know about them specifically, so that's fine.
Well, if anyone's interested,
Yeah, maybe
looking
next
at you
week.
viewers.
looking at you.
Let me know because because like I said, there is so much that I could talk about, but I really narrowed it down today to just kind of the key ideas of doppelgangers and what they are and the most common experiences. So we'll start though with talking again about more of the legends and the lore. There's a painting from 1864 titled How They Met Themselves by Dante Gabriel Rossetti. And the interpretation of this painting explains that there is a medieval couple walking through the woods at twilight, and they stumble upon their doubles who glow in a supernatural way.
Ugh.
And the man draws his sword, and the lady is seemingly fainting at the sight of these beings who look just like them. And we still see depictions of doppelgangers in modern art as well, like the movie Us, as you guys were saying, written and directed by Jordan Peele. And this movie's been out for 6 years now, so you've had time to watch, so I'm not going to worry about spoilers.
Yeah.
But Us shows us the evil doppelganger, the one trying to kill the original and take the place of the original. And this is one of the many theories as to why a doppelganger shows itself. Some believe that doppelgangers are a bad omen, a sign of imminent death or illness, or that they want to hurt you and take over your life, right?
Crazy.
Others believe they are a glitch in the matrix or a sign that there are alternate dimensions and timelines that could seep into our own reality from time to time for various reasons.
Oh my gosh, it like gives me shivers.
Wow.
I love this kind of stuff.
So, regardless of what you believe, doppelgangers are mimics. And mimics scare me to my core. And when I sought out information about a mimic spirit specifically, oh, she's a little warm.
Yeah.
Winnie's a little warm today. She's panty.
Got a
She
crazy
has
mustache.
a really
Oh,
crazy
no.
mustache. I've been trying to brush it
They
for
look
days.
like feelers.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
my little brush for her gets stuck though, and then she like really gets frustrated. So I kind of just leave
Oh,
them
I just want to boop
sometimes.
your nose.
She has a
Oh,
haircut
thanks.
next Friday.
Oh, sweet girl. Well, if you hear panting, that's just Winnie, our podcast dog. Oh, and she's giving licks now. She's such a sweet girl.
Yeah, mimics I don't know everything about.
I don't either.
But I've heard of them.
Mimics are so scary to me.
In this world, I don't, or like this like realm that we're talking about, or world, I guess.
This world?
Yeah, this one that we live in.
This one
But
right
like
here?
in the scope of how we're talking about things now, I don't really know the definition of mimics.
Yeah.
Well, that's great because I'm going to tell you all about them. So,
Cool.
because essentially, what it boils down to is, doppelgangers are mimics. They are taking the appearance, shape, form, vocabulary, memories, everything that we are, right? And so that's why it's so scary. It's the uncanny valley type of thing where it's like something's off, but you don't know what it is. So anyway, when I sought out information about a mimic spirit, I was really frustrated. Have you guys heard of the game Phasmophobia?
No.
No.
Okay. Chris and I watch some gamers on YouTube that have played this, and it's a really fun game to watch, but there's a spirit called the Mimic on there that you go against.
Yeah.
And or it's just I can't remember exactly how the game works because there's a couple like horror games that we like to watch that kind of bleed into each other in my mind. But it's either one that you go up against or it's just one that you identify. But basically anytime I had to be very specific with my research because anytime I would type in the Mimic, it'd be like Phasmophobia, the Mimic. And I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
At least I know what Phasmophobia is because otherwise I would have been like
Looking
so
into it.
confused,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
Zoot what is this? And so anyway, according to the podcast The Strange Sessions, there are 3 different types of mimics. And I thought this kind of boiled it down in a very cohesive way. So type 1 is the physical apparition. And this mimic takes on the physical appearance of someone, whether it's the self or someone we know. They could look like you, speak like you, and even have your memories, but there will always be something off about them.
Yeah.
So, in personal accounts I've listened to, people have said that the mimic has appeared as someone they know, but they can only repeat one phrase, such as "help me" or "I'm fine." And others have said the person could hold a conversation, but the affect, meaning the presentation of the person or the personality of that person, was different from the original. So there is one story that I had listened to, because of course most of the podcasts that include mimics or doppelgangers are like firsthand accounts of what people have experienced. So one of them was this person who was, I think they were camping or something.
See, when that kind of stuff happens, when people show up out of the blue,
Out of nowhere.
that is where it's like, that's bizarre.
Out
Sorry,
of nowhere.
keep going
and
now.
this person, but the thing is, they didn't recognize this person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the story differs a little bit. But I mean, it could still be a doppelganger of someone.
Yeah.
And this person was like just screaming, help me, and like getting closer and closer to them. And they would ask, what can I do? What do you need? And all they would respond with was, help me. And, you know.
Which could also be a sign of shock or trauma, I'm sure, in like a general person case.
Well,
right?
This is where that differs.
Oh.
Because the guy or gal, I'm not sure who it was, who the person was experiencing the story, but they basically just said, like, I finally said, stop it, get away from me, don't get any closer. Like, I want to help you, but I don't know how. You're not letting me.
Yeah.
And he said it was like they were on a cord and something just pulled them back. And they, like, backflipped away from him. And he was like, what?
The Matrix changed
He's like,
their mind.
stop. He's like, oh, my bad, bro.
Yeah. And then just backflips. And that kind of made me laugh because I'm like, okay, backflips.
Yeah.
Hold on now. But so.
And see, no one would make that up because it's too bizarre to
Yeah.
make up.
Too specific. Like,
Very
who
specific.
would think, oh, and then the mimic backflipped away from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's going to believe that.
No.
Yeah.
So weird.
Not to get off track, but what
No,
you
do
said
it.
when they were like, they could only say one thing. I've heard so many stories of people like at home or something, and they'll be home alone and they'll hear someone like
Yes.
it's usually like a mom or a dad, and they'll say like the name and something
this
else.
Emma's personal
And then,
account, isn't
that's
it?
right, yeah. And then
That one, I'm literally telling the stories next, but please continue.
Yeah.
that's about it. They would say one phrase.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm scared to tell the story because I feel like I might cry a little bit because it makes
it's
me very
creepy.
emotional.
It's a very big thing.
I barely remember this. I feel like I'd never even heard the full story.
Because there's multiple stories.
Oh, I have so many.
Yeah.
Is
That's
this the
the
one
thing.
in Maple Valley?
No.
Your old place of residence?
It's okay. You can say Maple Valley. We don't live there anymore, so it's okay.
Yeah.
If we still lived there, I'd have been like,
Yeah.
edit that out. But we
Yeah.
don't. So the second type is the auditory mimic. And this being only mimics the voice of the self or someone you know. And I'm sure I'm probably grammatically incorrect of saying of the self.
That's weird. How
but-
would you recognize your own voice?
So I was listening to this account of this dad and son, and they were playing or they were doing something together, and the son heard his own voice. They both did, and they
Okay.
looked at each other. And it was like
weird.
this weird glitch in the Matrix, or weird like seeping of the dimensions perhaps, or
Oh.
you know, I mean it
That's
depends
calling me
on.
real quick.
Oh,
Sorry.
And I
So
think
sorry.
Anthony's coming back anyway.
okay. So the next one is the auditory mimic. And this being only mimics the voice of the self or someone you know. Most commonly, people hear and experience these mimics near stairs or the bathroom.
That's so weird.
And it's not clear why, but I have a guess, and that is the vulnerability that you feel in both of these places. In a bathroom, you feel very secure and alone, and, you know, it's a private place like you would hope, and so
Yeah.
it's so jarring and alarming when you are, you know, when you're hearing the voice of someone else right next to you. I mean, or an apparition or something. So, and then the stairs as well, you're more susceptible to fall or trip, and there's the separation of a top and bottom floor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That would be my guess. And in listening to more about this mimic, I've been reminded of my own experiences. And this is not me saying I have a mimic or anything, but these stories have stuck with me. So this isn't necessarily the first time I experienced this, but the first memory that comes to mind is in high school, and I was a sophomore, and I shared a room with Mackenzie at Mom's house, and you slept in the top bunk, and I was on the bottom bunk, and it was a split level house that we lived in. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one by the high school?
No.
Was it?
Okay. This is
So,
my
just
memory.
A house, yeah.
We'll go
One
along
house.
with it.
Yeah.
We'll go along with it.
Whichever-
we know you're wrong, but we'll
whichever-
go along with it.
Whichever house it is, we were in bunk beds.
Yeah.
And you were on top and I was on bottom. I don't know which house it was. Whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Sorry. I don't remember the house, but I remember us having a bunk bed now. I can picture it.
Okay. Thank God I'm not
Okay.
alone in this.
Yeah.
If I just made this all up, you guys.
Yeah.
I think it was like earlier than high school though. Like
Was
middle
it?
school.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, but was it like a white bunk bed? Or am I...
No, it was
black.
the one that the kids had. Oh, is
Oh,
it
was the
was it
blue
black?
Black metal one, right?
That was our loft when we had loft.
Oh my God,
beds.
what is happening? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna tell
So
you
we
my
were
memory.
In a bunk bed.
We'll go from there. It was,
can follow.
I was thinking about this. It was the house where I walked out of the bedroom, you were going to the bathroom, and you screamed and got on your knees because I scared the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I had a sore throat, so my voice
Which
was
one
like,
was that?
Carson, it's okay. And you were on your knees with your hands up going, ah!
I was sick and I was going to the bathroom.
That's so sad.
and
it
we
was
walked out at the same time in the
worst.
middle of the night.
Which house was that?
That was the fancy house.
That was
Yeah, it's fine. I can. Yeah, I didn't.
Yes. Okay.
But I remember
We
you
were
guys.
upstairs
Why were you
though.
guys
Okay.
upstairs?
okay, yeah. It was the kids' room.
Oh, because your room was
It was
scary,
the kids'
wasn't it?
room.
Yeah.
Our room was scary.
I
We've
remember
had a
that.
lot
I
of
think I went
scary
in there like
rooms.
twice.
It was the one with the French doors that I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah,
It was so
but it
nice,
was
but-
it was really cold down there too.
Okay, thank God
Yeah.
that I did not make
Okay,
this
this
whole
makes
thing up.
sense.
I
Yeah.
loved that room. That house was sick too.
Oh yeah, that house was beautiful.
I don't
And now
remember
if
your
I
room.
had that room, I would have
My room was
loved
awesome. It wasn't anything special, but I remember the sun would hit it just right, and it was so
Aw.
nice, and yeah, it was really cool.
I don't remember your room.
Anyway,
Okay.
I remember that.
So now that we've established where we were, I'm so glad that we are all on the same page now.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
No.
Let the
correct.
record
You're
show everyone that I was not wrong. Okay, so anyway, Mom had tucked us in, and she went downstairs to work on her schoolwork because she was trying to do college at that time as well. And I had just laid my head down and closed my eye and went to close my eyes, and I heard her like aggressively whisper my name. I heard her go, and my eyes like flew open, and I looked around and I didn't see anything, and it sounded like she was right in my ear. And I wasn't asleep because I have always had sleeping problems. Going to sleep has never been my strong suit. And I knew I wasn't asleep because, I mean, literally, like, it happened and my eyes just were open.
Yeah, like as if you heard someone say something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I was still, like, having my, my little thoughts before bed
Yeah.
and my head on my pillow, like, okay, let's try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then,
Ugh.
And-
creepy.
so, let me see, where was I? I typed this all out, like, in a really cohesive way, and now I'm just throwing myself off. So, okay. It sounded like she was right in my ear. I wasn't asleep. I got out of bed, and I left our room to look out into the hall, and Mom wasn't there, and the hallway was dark, like the lights were off, because obviously we were sleeping. So, I went downstairs, and because I knew her plan was to go downstairs and work on her schoolwork, and Mom was typing at the computer, and there was no way she could have run upstairs and back down to yell in my ear. And
And then open and close the door too.
Yeah.
without making any other
Yeah.
noise. Like
Yeah.
it's
So weird.
It's so bizarre. And so I knew it was silly to ask, but I still asked her if she had called for me. And she said she didn't. And we kind of just looked at each other like, okay, this is odd. And that
Yeah.
was, I think that was one of the first times that I had actually asked if someone had called my name, like from a floor away, which is interesting because there's stairs involved in a split level house. So I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
That's true.
So I just went back to bed because what else do you
Yeah.
do? And I shared a room with Mackenzie, so I wasn't really scared.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
it was.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh no, you were dead to the world.
Yeah. That's maybe even more interesting, you know, that
Yeah.
you're the only one. Well,
I
I feel
was
like
probably
you've never
already
had
asleep.
sleeping problems.
Yeah.
Speak, so
I slept pretty well.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, the scientific part of my brain says, oh, well, maybe you were asleep and you just didn't realize you fell asleep. But I mean, realistically, I know, especially at that time, you know, growing up, I couldn't get to sleep or stay asleep.
Yeah, it took a long time for you to get to sleep. So
It
you were
did.
like aware.
Yes, very much so. And so now in my life, this has become a recurring theme for me. Every now and then I'll hear my mom, Mackenzie, and once I heard Chris shout, whisper my name in my ear, like, and it will be either the right or left ear. It's not always the same
Yeah.
ear. And it's always Emma
Yeah.
every time. And I
You
don't
have
know.
a really good whisper name. Like,
yeah.
not all names can be whispered like that. Mackenzie.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is. It's, you know, 2 syllables. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, but yeah, and it's scary though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And it'll
I can't
happen at
imagine.
work as well, where I'll take my AirPod out and go, "Did someone call my name?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nope."
Well, the amount of times that you've just been like, did you just call me? Or did you just say my name? And like when we're in the same room and I'm like, nope, didn't say anything.
I think it's even more scary that it's a whisper shout
Yeah.
instead of like Emma. you
Yeah.
know?
It's always a whisper shout. It's always
Weird. And that it's consistent,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
weird too.
especially with you and mom. And
Yeah.
so with
I'm so
this,
honored. I'm one of the people who, you know, whisper shout your name
Yeah.
and you're
screaming in my ear all the time.
sorry, I'm mimic.
So I wrote into the podcast called Sinisterhood, and they read my story on Freaky Friday, and the story was different from these type of mimic encounters, but I did mention these encounters. But Christy and Heather thought that maybe there was some sort of telekinesis thing where the people that you love, you know, dearly think of you and send some sort of like manifestation. And I think that's a lot nicer than calling it a mimic.
For sure, yeah.
Because it's really scary if you were to think of some demonic being screaming as
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
you love, you know, in your ear.
Yeah.
It's nicer to think that maybe it's just someone you love who's thinking of you. But I think if that were the case, wouldn't I hear all of you?
Yeah.
You know?
Carson
I
doesn't
hope
think
so.
of you.
Yeah.
Carson's like,
That's a sign.
Carson's gonna start just screenshotting my
Yeah.
name, and I'm gonna be like, did
Yeah.
someone say that? Carson's like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Just to
I'm
trick
gonna
you.
get an Eviltron.
Yeah. Oh
Not
my
the
God.
Eviltron.
That's what I was thinking of when he said bathroom. I was like, can you
Yeah.
hear me? Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary.
Gosh.
Okay.
That was terrifying.
This last one is the scariest one. And it's type 3, the lurer.
Ooh.
Lurer?
Lurer.
Okay.
Lurer?
I don't know. I just had to. Well, I think of like,
Like
a fishing
luring.
lure.
Luring. Like
Like luring?
lurer.
Like, come here.
L-U-R-E-R.
Come hither.
Yeah, I just have to
Lure?
over enunciate it so that I know.
Lurer.
Lure. I
But-
say lure.
But
Like
it's
if
R.
you're
Lure.
lure.
Like you're luring. Luring.
What does it mean? Like you're trying to
Lure.
lure someone?
Yes.
Like,
Get someone to
come
come
here?
to you?
Huh?
Like, come here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Would you say it differently? Yes.
I've never tried to say that word, so I have no place in this.
Fishing lure.
So listen,
I know.
I'm bad at pronouncing things.
No, no,
I'm
no.
finding out.
You're doing great.
But you're
Doing
thinking
great.
of a lure that's L-U-R-E, and Emma's
Yeah.
thinking of L-U-R-E-R, like they're
Correct.
lurer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's the action of
Okay, gotcha.
you are the
Just
person
wanted to
luring.
clarify.
Correct.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So, again, this mimic is arguably the most scary and most dangerous of all of them. And most often, this mimic takes on the voice of someone you love and calls for you in a forest or an area where you would be all
Okay, so
alone.
that's
Yeah.
common because the stories I've heard about like people like this are when someone's all alone.
So,
Ugh.
and this will be, well, this being will scream your name and call for help, or could mimic the sound of a crying baby to try to lure you in into a situation that you don't want to be in. And most often I've heard stories from people who have gone camping and will hear someone or something calling for help. And I think this goes without saying, but don't follow that voice.
Yeah.
If you genuinely feel like someone is in danger or hurt, but you can't see them, just, call 911.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
And if you can physically see someone and you can provide help, obviously help them. But it just doesn't feel like anything good.
Trust your gut.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
That's
in that
literally what I
situation.
have down here is just trust
You'll
your
know.
gut.
Yeah,
you'll
you'll
know.
know.
If it seems off, let's
It's
just
off.
not do it. Yeah. So, gosh, how long have we been recording now? I'm sorry
A little
about that.
bit. No, it's good.
I could really do more of a deep dive on this, but for the sake of time, I'm going to end it here. If you'd like to hear more, please let me know, and I'd be happy to do an entire dissertation on this subject. I
I want
found.
to hear encounters next time or
Yeah. Okay.
something.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Like stories from people.
Well, I also think it's interesting the neurological research that
Yes.
people have done as well. I found a thesis paper.
Yeah, just make this all a series. I'm
Yeah,
down.
and so much more.
I love
so
it. Yeah.
there's a lot. But I would love to know, what do you think a doppelganger is? Do you think they're good or evil?
Yeah.
Like when you think of what we kind of just talked about, obviously this is the more paranormal side, but then there's the people who are physical, real, like
Yes.
devils of people.
Yeah.
So do you think they're good or evil?
yeah. Good
I
question.
don't know.
Oh, are you asking us?
Yeah.
Oh, evil. Always.
Whenever I
trust
hear
them.
doppelganger, I think of what you guys told me. I think of how you guys told me this when I was younger, but
Oh, sorry.
no, of how there's 7 people in the
Oh,
world
yeah.
that look just like you. I don't know.
Oh,
If that's, yeah, I don't know. It's just all about like.
No, it's
don't
true.
know.
It's context. Like if
Yeah.
it's like a normal person who just looks like
Oh,
you,
yeah, true, yeah. But
I don't feel like that's a big deal, but it's also still sketchy.
all the stories I've heard have not been.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've all been scary. And one that I was gonna say is like a lot of people will like. I've heard many stories of like kids who will like see like they'll like get up in the middle of the night. It's always in the night.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost like Coraline when she goes into the other world and sees the other mother cooking. It's like that, but they won't turn around or something. Or when they turn around, their face is all distorted.
Messed up.
Sorry.
That's so scary. No, it's my worst fears.
I didn't want to. Maybe I shouldn't say.
Scare
it.
us.
No,
I want it.
it's
Scare
daytime.
me.
I can handle it.
A lot of people with like their partners will
Yeah.
like they'll like turn over in bed and
Okay.
it'll be something else.
That's like okay. This reminds me of
Sorry.
cry.
No, that reminds me of my friend Alyssa from the coffee place that we go to.
Oh no!
She told
We're
me
running out of storage.
one time she played a Ouija
Oh, we're
board.
good.
She
We're
played
good.
this Ouija board and she
No.
thought that she was being punished. Or no, maybe it was her cousin. She was being punished or whatever for playing this Ouija board because she was sleeping in bed with her cousin and her cousin turned
No.
over. Had like a big
No.
smile.
Yeah, that's
so
terrifying.
I'm gonna
I
cry.
know. I have to live with that. I've had to live with that for like 5 years.
Just been holding it in.
I'm sure I've told you guys that before, but I think about it all the
Yeah.
time.
I know, because literally sometimes it'll be so dark in our room, and I'll look at Chris and it'll look like his eyes are open, but they're not. And I'm just like, he's asleep. He's asleep. He's asleep. And I'll kind of like touch him.
Oh my god. Oh, it's
So, honey, if you hear this, I'm just.
I should have given
looking
a
at
trigger
you.
warning to see if you guys were okay with me saying that.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah,
I figure in
that's
the
not a-
context.
I'm gonna-
that's not a
Okay.
trigger.
I'm gonna look at
warning.
It's
Doobie
so
and be
scary.
like, Doobie.
You me smiling.
I'm lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, dang, Doob's nice.
Doobie.
Dude starts talking to you.
Yeah.
Carson.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like, Doobie, why don't you ever move when I try to lay down in bed?
Yeah. You
And
can ask them all
Doopy,
the real questions.
Doopy's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a little black chubby thing. I don't know what he is. He's like a lab or
He's
something.
a lab, I think.
Yeah. He's a
Chubby lab.
chubby lab.
A baby lab.
He
He's
is
like a mini
so
lab.
sweet though. So he
He's
sleeps
sweet.
with Carson.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm lucky.
Yeah. When you're blessed by his presence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have taken up so much time. I'm so sorry.
That was great. I
But
Really
loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
I am happy to do more.
I could do a full episode on that.
Yeah, it gives
Of
me,
just
like,
even just hearing. what
20
you were
more
talking about.
ideas for podcast
Yeah.
topics.
I hate my topic now.
Oh.
No, I'm excited for your
So
topic. I
weird.
heard
Really?
a little bit
Yeah.
of what it will be.
Okay, well you go. Let's start.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So my topic is about, well, I don't know. It started as one thing and it turned into something else. It's about vitamin D and how good it is for you.
Which
But-
is perfect because it's
yeah, because it's nice and sunny out, and it has been for the last like week. It's been really nice, and I love it. And yeah, so
Chris has been so happy.
mhm.
He's been doing
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
Just
our
with
mental
the
health
sun.
needs it.
Yes.
Healthy.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people who have never been to Washington think it's Seattle as a state, and it's not at all. We live in a desert climate technically, and we don't get much rain like we do in the spring and fall, but it's definitely not like Seattle where it's gloomy and rainy all the time. And I know when we were little, and maybe not as much anymore, we used to not like the sun as much, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we're definitely like rain, like inside weather people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm still that.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like I liked it more as a kid. I liked the
Oh, the
sun,
sun.
way more
Yeah.
as
Oh, yeah.
a kid. I had so much fun outside, and I'd get really,
Yeah.
really tan, and now I burn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sun hates me now.
Yeah.
Since
Um,
I turned into a vampire. Anyway, sorry.
yeah,
I'm
so, but I've definitely changed. I love
Me
the
too.
sun now, and
I like to be warm.
yeah, I do like the warmth too. So,
I
let's,
get sweaty.
oh, yeah.
Ate it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what's good about vitamin D. What do you guys know about what's good about vitamin D?
Mostly just mental health aspects. Like it really boosts your what's the
Serotonin?
feel good? Yeah. Is it serotonin?
Dopamine.
Yeah.
Oh, dopamine. Yeah.
Feel good chemicals. That's
Yeah,
pretty much
the
all I know.
feel-good brain chemicals.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, it's good for mental health, and it's good for. I feel like it's just good for the body in general as well, because vitamin D, as a supplement, isn't that supposed to help with like bones?
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Wow.
Vitamin D is just like any other vitamin. You need it
Yeah.
for your body. So, but a lot of people, I think it's called like the sun vitamin or something like that because you do get it. So basically, you don't absorb vitamin D from the sun. It interacts with something in your skin that produces more vitamin D. So your body produces it,
Oh.
but it's able to produce more once you get sunlight.
We're like
Oh.
flowers.
Yes.
Complicated
Exactly.
flowers.
Oh
So
my God.
it's important for cancer protection, bone health, immune system, maintaining normal levels of parathyroid hormone. It helps with full cell life cycles and maturation, and yeah, it's needed for living every day. So
Living.
living.
So I
And-
want to know why you gestured to me for maturation.
Oh, I don't think I meant to.
You're like,
He was just
for this?
It was
gesturing.
bone
in
health.
maturation?
It was bone health, and then I kept doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you gestured to
And-
the left and then to the right, and I was like, okay, listen, I
Yeah.
know I'm older than you.
Getting old like this lady.
No.
Anyway.
Just kidding.
And lots of mental health benefits. Those studies have not been conclusive.
Interesting.
At least for supplementation. This is all for supplementation. So, yeah, I decided to do this after like January is always a very gloomy, dark month, and
Depressing.
and I feel like it went by pretty fast
Yeah.
It did.
this year. And February came with some sunshine and good weather, so I've been loving it. And yeah, so. But people who live in Seattle and Oregon, I had a buddy whose family member had really. So, one of my buddy's family members had super low vitamin D levels. He lives in Seattle, and he was just recommended supplementation for it because they get like no sunlight for part of the year. So, after not doing a ton of research, I did all this research at the gym, so it was not the best, but
That's the best
the
place
spare
for me to
time-
focus too.
spare time that I had.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, no judgment here.
So there were 14 studies that I looked at.
14?
Yeah, well, it was all
That's
gathered
good.
in one research like, paper, so it was easy.
That's great,
They
though.
gathered it. Yeah. So lots of sources and diversity, I guess. And so they wanted to look at the effects on depression, anxiety, etc. And none of them showed a positive correlation to improving mental health concerns other than depression.
Okay.
But they didn't really go into it. They just said that it can help. And so, yeah, honestly, there was not much
Wow.
that suggested that there was any benefit from taking it.
Interesting.
Though some people said, or some studies showed that it can be positive when paired with exercise. But then when you get down to it, it's like, what's really helping, the vitamin D or the exercise?
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
In improving their mental health.
And correlation is not causation either, so.
Right. And that
Nice.
might just be on me because I use those words somewhat interchangeably.
Oh,
Um,
no, that was just my first thought was like,
yeah.
it correlates, sure, there could be a trend, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it's the cause. So, I
Right,
mean, it could be
right.
it could be, like you said, is it the exercise? Or is it the
And
sun?
and vitamin D production can increase with exercise. And so supplementation is not the same as getting vitamin D from food because that is the natural way of getting it from food is better than supplementation, it's been showed. I don't
okay.
know why I'm not a scientist, I don't know. But
Absorption, I'm sure, right?
yeah. Oh, and also vitamin K should be paired with vitamin D. That was not in the study, but that's something I know
Oh, okay.
for better.
Potassium? Oh no, I'm thinking K as a
Yeah, no,
element.
yeah, that's okay. Good job.
Oopie. We're not scientists.
Yeah, we're not.
Certainly not.
Yep. So it seems that supplementation is maybe not pointless, but there was no studies that had concrete proof of
I mean,
helping.
that's helpful though because a lot of people think that vitamin D is the sole, like you know, is like a huge help or deficit for mental health support. You know,
And it might be. And so
Yeah.
like if definitely if you think that might be the case for you, definitely go get
It's not
checked
gonna
out by your
hurt.
doctor because like it could be something that
deficiency.
really helps. Yeah. If it's a genuine deficiency, you can definitely see benefits from it, I would assume.
I'd also like to add that with taking supplements, even if there isn't the scientific research behind it that says it helps, if you think it's
Yeah.
helping, as in the placebo effect,
Yeah.
it's not going to harm you if you just feel like you're doing
Yeah.
good, because then you're going to trick your brain into thinking you're doing
Yeah.
good, and then you're going
Yes.
to feel good. So
Definitely.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, totally. And so that was all my discussion on vitamin D, but I did want to say it kind of got me thinking about, I guess, mental health in general. And I was telling Kiki about this earlier, but I've been very blessed to not struggle with mental health at all. And so I don't know why that is. Maybe I just don't let myself for whatever reason, or it's because I think there are some activities and things that I do that might prevent me from feeling down or whatever, or worrying too much that I think could benefit other people. Let's see here.
It's also nature versus nurture of the environmental versus the biological aspect of it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
so I mean that argument's the age-old
It is.
argument of psychology is why our brains the way that they are, and why do we have some chemicals that are off and some that are okay. So I think it's definitely a combination, but
Yeah. And
Sorry, I was just
No.
gonna say also with thinking about how our family is, like most of the women in our family do have anxiety
Yeah.
and depression and/or so with you being someone who really hasn't struggled with mental health, I think that's where a lot of your insight is coming from.
Yeah,
right?
and I was telling Kiki, like, I used to not even think about mental health because I never had to worry about it or think about it. And so
She's
I'd like,
so awesome, Carson.
it is
I
cool.
know.
I'm so happy for
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. I am
Yeah.
too. And
No,
like,
that's so great.
I've realized that over the years because in high school and stuff, like, whenever they would talk about mental health, I'd be like, oh, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter because
Right,
yeah.
it didn't matter to me.
Yeah, you didn't feel
But-
it. Or, yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm a little older and I've realized that I'm very lucky, and obviously everyone has good and bad days
Oh,
and
of
stuff happens.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
But I think in general, I try to have just a positive outlook on life, and like you said, maybe that doesn't even matter. Maybe it's just the way my brain is made up. I don't know, but I think there are things that people can do to generally help their overall. I know emotions are very are not permanent at all. Like they change all the time, and so that's different than anxiety and depression and stuff. But
Right.
I think the things that I do that might help me and other people are obviously getting active, and like that's just going to be the biggest mood improvement, improver. I don't know, but I definitely see on days where I'm not active, I feel it. Like
I was just telling Anthony that if I
Yeah.
don't go to the gym in the mornings, I come home and I have grouchy nights where I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna cry the whole night. And I'm like, part
Yeah.
of that, well, no, it's like part of that is due to my job because I feel overstimulated more. But I just feel things heavier when I don't exercise. But when I go to the gym, I start off my day feeling so much more refreshed and
It's
carefree.
your coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
yes, and I love that. That's great. And I think even if you don't go to the gym, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Even like dancing to music around your house, or like
That's what we
or
do.
cleaning. Even
That's
like
so
cleaning can help. Like
just
I mean,
moving around.
you're also being productive in cleaning, so that's cool. But I think that's the biggest one. I think making sure you get enough sleep, that's always going to help.
yeah.
Like I said, things are emotions and and feelings are not permanent. They change a lot. But if you wake up from bad sleep or don't get enough sleep, like your day is almost ruined before it's even started.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's some things that you can't even do about that, other than
Can
like
confirm.
yeah, you can take a nap or whatever, but trying to get a lot of sleep, it's going to be huge, and decrease your cortisol and everything like that. It's going to be huge. Red light therapy, I've heard great things about that too. I don't know if you guys have looked into it at all.
I use a red light mask every day.
I have one, but I don't use it enough.
My
I forget
skin
about it.
Has
Your skin looks
never
so good.
been better.
Okay,
I use
say
it
less.
every day.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go use it after
Like
this.
it is.
How long do you wear it?
It has a timer. It's,
Oh, okay.
It's set. You hold the button up
Okay.
here.
I've used it like twice. It just I feel like I can't see like.
Well, you have to be consistent.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, but red light
You're
therapy.
good.
Great.
Yeah, so we have one at my gym, and it's like a full body
Ooh.
thing, and it's
Ooh, that's what you should
Oh.
do. No impairment.
Yeah,
skin.
for real. It's like, am I gonna be like in a tanning booth? I love that.
No.
Oh,
well, it's like a room, and it's
okay, yeah.
it is like a booth, but it's like yeah.
Because when you get spray
just sit
tans,
there.
you just have to stand there in the booth.
No,
Stands, yeah.
I don't know. It's different.
Okay.
It is different, but
I should try it.
That's.
yeah.
I didn't know they had that in
That's
gyms.
really cool. When
Oh, just my gym.
when
Oh.
Anthony
My gym's
when
special.
Anthony and I come to your gym, we're gonna have to try that out.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Because we're gonna have gym dates.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey,
You can come too.
Yeah, you guys
You
are
should
always
come
invited.
too.
when are we doing this?
I don't know.
I go
Emily
every day.
needs to get fit, so
Let's all go.
for my heart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You can come to the gym every day
Should we
with
go
me. I would
after work
love that.
then, or before?
Well, like we could do 5
Okay. My
In
gym's
the
really
evening?
busy at 5.
in the morning.
Oh, in the
heck
morning.
yeah.
Oh,
my
let's
gosh,
do it. Okay.
perfect.
No, I didn't mean 5 p.m.
Oh, okay,
I
I'm
would
like-
hate that. Are you
I'm
kidding
kind
me?
of I like
I'd
to
rather,
be
like-
home by 4.
I'd
Yeah.
rather
Don't
stick
go
needles
anywhere.
under my nails
Okay, perfect.
than work out with a bunch of people.
Okay,
Are you
perfect.
kidding me? No.
I love the 5
Sorry.
o'clock people
Okay.
at my gym.
Sorry.
They're so chill.
That's okay. So yeah,
So yeah,
we'll
let's
talk about it. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good. Please, like you guys gotta make me.
Yeah. We'll
like
go.
I'm serious.
I'll-
Please.
I have a
make
key to
me.
your house. I'll go wake you up.
Works for me.
Okay.
You will. I mean, you will have to sign up or get a.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Talk about it later. Okay. My next point was eat some fruit and good
Oh,
food,
heck yeah.
because if your body feels good, you're gonna feel good. This is not for everyone, but going out in public can improve your mood if you go socialize with people that you like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like even
Talk to
going
your
out to
people.
dinner with people that you
Yeah.
like. Like I feel like that is such a mood improvement.
For sure.
I go to
For me.
mom's house.
Yeah.
That's good.
And-
There's
Or like
a lot of people
podcast
there.
days where we're just
Well, yeah.
hanging out doing this, and then I feel like
Talking,
fulfilled for the
yeah.
rest of the day.
I think
you know?
talking
For
is just
sure.
huge.
Yeah.
And then just you could even like journal and reflect. And one of the biggest things, I don't know when, we were talking about it on the hike, and I was gonna say fake it till you make it. That's
Oh.
such like I love
It's so
that.
true.
It, like if you just act happy, eventually you're gonna be happy. And like I said, feelings and emotions are temporary and
Yeah.
they change. But I think overall, if you just try to do things that help you feel good and put you in a better mood, it's gonna be the best thing. And that's just what I do to
Yep.
stay positive and
I
happy.
completely agree.
And
Yeah.
it is like the placebo effect with the fake it till you make it, because it's literally you are tricking your brain like I
Yeah.
can do this, and it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
confidence that comes from
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And I think that is it plays a huge role in
Yeah.
achieving the things that you want to achieve, because if you think you can do it, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
think
gotta
that's
give yourself
another
a
topic
chance.
you should research, Cars, is like confidence and how it affects like your brain chemistry.
Oh yeah.
feel like
That'd be
that's
Did you
interesting.
know that I learned this last year? That a con man is short for confidence man.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
I didn't know that,
That's
no.
so weird.
I didn't know that either.
I mean, yeah, what else would it be?
Well, a con is a
Convict man.
a con, isn't that is that a noun or a verb?
It just-
that is
It's
con.
a prefix for like opposite.
No, but that man
of,
conned
right?
you.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it could
but
be
you're a
used as
confidence man because
Yeah, okay.
of the confidence that you use to manipulate
I
people.
did not know
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. That's really cool. Yeah.
It just, combining our two worlds here,
Mm-hmm.
Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. And for my topic, but if you do get a little bit of sunlight throughout the day, I think just trying to get your face and eyes in it. That's what I like to do. Like in the mornings, go out in
Go
the sun.
stare at the sun.
Obviously, don't do that. I don't know if that was obvious, but don't do
Shut
it.
up, Keeks.
That's what I do. I
But
don't know about you
I,
guys.
I just try to get my say the sun's over here on the
Yeah.
right. Just try to get it in my face and eyes and take some deep breaths and just
Absorb
maybe
like a
like
plant.
reflect or something or plan your day. I always plan my days like
Same.
ahead of time,
Oh.
so I'm always ready to go.
I'm flying by the seat of my pants, you guys. It'd be like
That's
that.
fine.
But I
I'm
kind of
just
thrive in the
A-okay.
chaos, so.
That's good.
That works for that works for you though.
You know
I
it
have
works.
ADHD.
Well, I
Probably.
plan.
I was just telling Anthony like 2 hours ago that I'm gonna ask my doctor about ADHD because I feel like it plagues my life if
might
that's
be,
what this
Might be.
my issues are.
Well,
Sorry.
talking about the sun as well, Cars, I was gonna say, like, on my lunch breaks, I get an hour, and so
Lunch breaks.
when did I say it weird?
You said it like
Graham
mom.
Cracker.
Yeah. Graham Cracker.
It's a good thing Mom's so
Lunch
cool,
breaks.
and I sound
True.
like
She's the
her.
perfect lady. Yeah.
Everyone loves mom. Yeah.
She's perfect.
Duh. And but on my lunch breaks, I will come back and sit in my car for a few minutes before I go back inside, and I'll sit and look out my window with my face
So
towards the
nice.
window
Yeah.
so that the
Yeah, it
sun
feels
is
good.
coming
You
at
look
me.
weird, but
I was
You
doing
do
that
look weird,
when
but-
I was letting Winnie out earlier. I was just standing there by the door in the sun because it was so nice and warm.
And then I walk
Yeah.
in, and I'm still facing the sun,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
walking sideways. I'm like
well,
trying to
Rejuvenate
absorb
me.
it all.
Yeah.
So I work in a cubicle. There's
Yeah.
no windows,
Oh, no.
and
Yeah.
so I try really hard to like,
Mm.
Get what you can.
expose myself.
Yeah.
and even just like getting out and when it's warmer, it sucks in the winter. But getting fresh air, like
It
oh
feels good
my
in the
gosh.
winter though, because
It
you feel
does,
kind of
but-
stuffy, and
Yeah.
so when you go out and it's fresh and crisp, I like it.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
last night, I was letting the dogs out, and there was like a nice little breeze, and it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
So
warm,
good.
not warm air, but it was like nice, and it didn't burn.
Significantly
When I would
warmer.
breathe it in. and,
Yeah.
That is a plus.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I just had a thought. That can be the guest podcast.
That's true.
Perfect. Who are we gonna have first? Should we interrogate them?
I think we should have Meeks come on here first because he's down for anything.
Okay.
I feel like that would be fun.
What would you talk about?
We were talking about how we should do group episodes and just have someone else's input maybe.
Oh, yeah.
When we start having guests, because then it's like, I don't know.
We'll
I
talk
don't know.
after.
Yeah.
I feel like Nico would have relatively the same opinions as me.
Yeah. But also crazy ways of getting to his
True.
conclusion.
That's
Yeah.
the
His
roundabout
thought
ways.
process is very different.
Yeah.
But okay, are we ready for my topic?
Yeah, we're
Yes,
ready.
ma'am.
Okay. Well, so we're just doing book 2 of Akatar since we did
Perfect.
book 1 last time.
I loved it.
And so if you guys remember, we ended off the first book where Farah dies and comes back to life. She gets killed by
The
Amarantha.
strongest fairy.
Yeah, she gets
Oh, yeah, she
killed,
is.
comes back to life, and she is given, you know, a little bead of life from all the different like rulers of each court. She and Tamlin are back together and in love, and it's like picture perfect. Like they're finally back in their little home together. So there is like a lot of trauma that came with her, you know, being under the mountain and in this whole traumatic thing. She has nightmares every night. She's like having horrible sleeping fits, like just terrible. She's really depressed.
It's like Bella in
Yeah.
movie 2
Yes.
Eclipse. Yes.
Okay, but there's a couple things that my notes from last time left out that are really important because my notes were taken from
Sorry.
Chat GPT and it was not a really good summary. So now I have Spark Notes because I just can't remember all the
Oh,
different
yeah.
important things.
Spark
but
Notes?
Spark Notes is helping me a lot more.
That's how I got through high school.
Exactly.
Sorry, Dad, you didn't hear that.
But so some parts that I missed out is that she and Tamlin are engaged.
Oh!
That happened in the first book at the very end.
And that's the dude that kidnapped her. For
Yeah,
killing the
but they're in
wolf.
love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stockholm Syndrome.
So then, but also that guy Reesend, who he was the guy who like
Oh, helped her.
helped her when she was down under the mountain.
Down
so he told her that she had like a bargain with him, and a bargain with a fairy is like a big deal. You have to like, you know, you're sentenced to life through this bargain. So her bargain with him is that for all the help he gave her, she has to go and live with him for a week. For some reason,
why?
I don't know. For some reason, that is a part of this. I think because he hates Tamlin, and I think he just wants to get back at him by like taking his
Screw you,
girl for a
Tamlin,
little
I'm
bit.
taking your girl.
Yeah, but so she has to go to the Night Court. He lives in the Night Court, and he's the ruler of the Night Court. And it's like she's in the Spring Court, but she has to go to the Night Court, and it's like wildly different. But it's like the most calm, like serene place in the whole world.
Isn't that a show? Night Court?
I have no idea.
Hold on.
Like, it's like a Judge Judy show.
I know what you're talking about.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's Night Court. I think it's
I think it is.
something court.
Night Court.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, it's a sitcom. 9 seasons. I'm
Holy
so sorry.
dang. That's
I just
okay.
I knew
I don't think I
knew it from
ever knew
somewhere.
about that.
That's funny.
I have to say, before it leaves my mind, you kept saying Night Court, and I kept thinking, Creature of the Night.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
Creature of the Night. Creature
Love
of
it.
the Night.
What is that?
What
from?
is that? What is
Rocky
it called?
Horror.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, so
So good. So good. But, okay, so she has this bargain with him, but he doesn't call her into, like, you know, starting to do this bargain until the wedding day. So she's literally, like, gonna walk down the aisle with Tamlin. And
Sir!
And but in her head, she's like panicking. She's like, I can't do this. Like something feels wrong. And then he swoops in and is like, okay, well, I'm taking you now. So you can't even marry him if you wanted to. And he takes her
Read the
and Tamlin
room.
can't stop him. Yeah, it's like a obviously very big deal. So she's very mad. She's very upset. And she just like, you know, but she has to go. And Tamlin has to let her because it's a bargain. And he can't interfere with that. And so then she comes back after her week, and Tamlin's like, okay, spill all the tea about Night Court. Tell me what, you know, goes down in there. So she kind of has to, like, you know, share what she's learned. So then Tamlin starts to get really protective of her. Like, she goes for a week, but then when she comes back, he's, like, so protective of her that he's, like, trapping her in the house. He's so upset that she has to leave at all that he's,
Sir.
like, locking down, like she's guarded at all times and really can't do anything. So
Does
she kind of
she
just
want
becomes
that?
no, she becomes miserable, and she like starts to resent him because she
Yeah.
hates that. So then she starts eventually going to the night court, and it kind of feels like freedom a little bit because when she's there, she has a room to paint, which is like her favorite thing. I think, at least she gets to paint. She gets to do whatever she wants. She just kind of lives in luxury. But also, she spent so much of her teenage years hunting for her family that she had to drop out of school, and she doesn't even know how to read.
Whoa.
So while she's there, Rhysand is teaching her how to read and like helping her like develop these skills that she never had. So let's see.
This
what
poor
else?
girl
I
is
know.
like, she needs a safety plan, like an escape plan.
Right? I know. Let me see.
Why doesn't she just use her awesome fairy powers to be like, hey, back off?
She doesn't know she has powers.
What?
So
Step
that's
off.
another thing.
Step up.
So, okay, so she now is like part of the night court to some extent because she's just around every 1 month or one week for every month. That's how often she has to go.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought
I'm
it was
sorry.
like a 1 week vacation.
No,
what I
I'm
thought,
sorry.
too.
It's it's
That's
every
terrible.
month. So she
Wow.
has to go there for a week every month. But she starts meeting Rhysand's people, and she discovers like these beautiful little cities within the night court that is like they actually were able to keep a whole city safe from Amarantha's reign, and that's where like it's like the most normal, beautiful city that you could think of, and while most of the world around them is kind of in ruin after, years and years of war.
Wow.
So let's see. I don't even know how this like it jumps from one thing to another really quick. I'm trying to think. Okay, so oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I have to read a little bit.
It's okay.
While we took a little intermission, I refreshed myself on the politics side of this book, and I forgot that while she is in the night court, she's learning about the politics that are going on inside the night court, because they actually let her hear like the politics of the fairies, unlike Tamlin, where he doesn't want her to hear because he's trying to protect her and guard her, and he doesn't think she can handle it. But Rhysand is like, you can handle it. This is what's going on. And so they have like a wall that separates the fairy world from the people world. And there's this evil guy. Well, okay, so this is where it feels a little far-fetched. They're kind of god, or like the ruler of all of them is a cauldron, like a magic cauldron, and that's like for real.
Leafy cauldron.
It's a cauldron, but it's like broken. It's not in full power.
It's like in
But-
Narnia.
Yeah. But there's this guy who apparently is going to fix it. He has the power to fix it.
Fix it, Felix.
So they are learning. Oh, so there's a king of all of the, like, the whole fairy realm called the
Okay.
King of Highburn, who plans on using the cauldron to destroy the world, or the wall between the two worlds,
Oh, okay.
and then take over the mortal land so he can, like, have all the land for himself. So they have to. So Farrah's learning all of this, and she's like, oh my god, I want to help. And Rhysand is letting her help. So him and his court are all kind of working on partnering with the queens of the mortal land, because they still live in like the kind of world where there's queens. So the queens know about the fairies, and they kind of have to work together to figure out a plan to protect the wall and figure out how they're going to like protect themselves from the king, because he wants to pretty much kill all the people.
Oh.
Behind all of this, they're also partnering with Farrah's younger sisters, because they are part of the mortal land, and they kind of want to show that like they are partners with with mortals, and that they can like delegate both sides. Like she can speak for the humans while Rhysand can speak for the
trees.
fairies, and kind of like just show that they all work together. So they go to her sisters and they're like, okay, I'm a fairy now. This is where I went.
Okay, hold
so
on.
this is her first time going back to her sisters since being a fairy.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So, who is they? Who is trying to partner with
Oh.
sisters. The Night Court?
Yeah, the Night Court.
Or
Like all the
Rhysand and-
the fairies.
Okay.
Yeah, Rhysand. And now Farah's
Farah.
kind of part of the Night Court because she's like helping them
Okay.
with this whole plan. And all of Rhysand's people who
Yeah.
right now are kind of unnamed.
So then, I thought Farah didn't know she was a fairy.
She knows, but
Okay,
she
now
doesn't
she
know
knows.
she has powers.
Okay,
Yeah.
she knows she's a fairy, but she doesn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you said that Farah wanted to help the king break open the wall, but she doesn't want him to take over.
No, she doesn't want. I'm sorry. I don't know where I said that.
Okay,
but
maybe
no.
I
I
didn't
misunderstood.
hear that.
Maybe I
Okay.
misunderstood.
She wants to protect the fairies.
Yeah.
Because she wants to protect both because if that wall is
Yeah.
intact then they can both live in
Okay,
peace.
okay.
And her sisters are humans. So she wants them
Yeah.
to be safe.
I didn't know if
So-
she wanted
Yeah.
to break open the wall and be like,
No,
"We'll
I'm
live
sorry.
together." No, it's fine.
So, okay, at this point in the story, she has been in the Night Court. Do you have a question?
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
When I said like Narnia with the crack in the
Oh,
cauldron, you know when Aslan dies and
Cracks.
the crack
Yeah.
The table,
happens.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was what I was.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
like,
got that. Yeah.
I was
I
like,
got
What
that.
does she mean by that?
Well, because Cars gave me the funniest look, and I was like, "Oh no,
Do you not understand?
must clarify." So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Well,
am
even,
asking.
even the wall reminded me of Narnia. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it earlier. Like there was
Oh,
a
okay.
barrier
Yeah.
between the human world and Narnia.
It's similar. It's like that kind of. I mean, there has to be a separation of people and
lore.
myth in these like little fantasy.
I can't help but just imagine little Tinkerbells flying around
I know.
and just say fairies.
They're not even like fairies like that though. Like they don't have wings.
Yeah.
Some of them do, but this kind doesn't have wings. The kind that Rhysand is and his friends are called Illyrians, and they have bat wings. But
Now that's my kind of fairy.
Yeah, a lot of fairies don't have wings, but they do have other fairies from other like parts of the courts that do have wings. So there's a lot of different kinds of fairies. It's really interesting.
Mhm.
But okay, so I also forgot to mention that by this point she is fully living in the Night Court because
Oh.
after she went back after one encounter or like one of her visits, she went back to the Spring Court with Tamlin, and Tamlin was like, "You are never going back there," and he like locked down the house, like trapped her in there, and she was like panicking, like literally having a full-on panic attack because she was like, "This is my worst fear. Why can't I have freedom?" And he
Yeah, it's
had
abuse.
yeah, it is. And he has really explosive anger problems too. So he like is making the house like, you know, he is destroying the house that she is trapped in. Because he doesn't have control of her. So then one of Rhysand's people named Morgan, she goes and rescues Farah from Tamlin and like takes her, and they're pretty much like hiding her but also letting her be a part of their team now.
Cool.
So
They're her safety plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
through all of this political stuff, Farah is realizing that Rhysand is not a bad person like Tamlin has painted him out to be.
No,
And he's
Tamlin's a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm
and-
so sorry.
No,
I keep interrupting
No,
you.
it's true. You're jumping to the conclusion that this book took a lot of people, you know, a long time to make. Like, we were supposed to think that they were in love, but he's actually terrible. And, yeah, so she's living with Rhysand and she's helping them with this whole thing. So let me see. So then she like has to go back to her sisters and be like, "I'm a fairy." And to them, fairies are like horrible and scary and they kill people. That's, you know, they're like myths or not myths.
That's the stereotype.
They're real,
Yeah,
but people
yeah.
really don't like them because they do kill people if people go over to their land sometimes. They're
the
not very
stigma.
accepting. Yeah. So then they're like, "Don't you dare like come into our house. Like we're not going to work with you." But then somehow she ends up changing their minds. I can't remember how. And then they start to like work with her. Oh my gosh, but here's what I forgot is that when okay, let me see. Let's see. Okay, so they come up with this plan that they are going to you know, they're going to go to the King of Hybern's house and try to interfere with his, you know, process of making the cauldron whole again and giving it power. So they're going to break in. But when they get there, he's captured her sisters who are human. And the first thing that he does with the cauldron is throw them in and make them fairies. They like fully go into the cauldron and change into fairies. And they're obviously horrified because fairies are the people that they're terrified of. So then they come out
Well, this took a turn.
as fairies, yeah. I'm going to skip some things. Let's see.
So if I want to become a fairy, I just have to jump into this cauldron.
Yeah.
Throw me in. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I know.
Is it like random? Like, oh, I wonder if I'll get bat wings.
I don't know.
That'd be
That's
cool.
actually
Personality
a good
based
question.
because I would love some
Yeah, I
bat
don't
wings
know.
myself.
Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that'd be sick.
No, they're just like the generic fairies that don't have wings,
boring.
but they're tall and beautiful and like immortal. Like they have really striking bone structure and stuff.
Well-
And they're like
So
models.
They came out hot.
Yeah, they did. They like get stretched out and tall and like they're really tall. They get really tall. Isn't that weird?
That makes me think
Come
of
out, you're like
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
The Laffy Taffy
That's how
machine, the stretcher, you know, when that kid
Oh
comes
my
out
gosh.
and he's like, just,
The string bean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just okay, sorry.
I
String
haven't
bean
seen
advice
the.
them.
Is that in the original?
Willy Wonka. No. I don't know which one it is.
I think that's the original. I haven't
I
seen that
don't
one
think
in
so.
forever.
I thought it was the one with Johnny
Charlie
Depp.
and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
That's with the fat kid.
Okay, well,
And
there's a
it's-
couple. That's Augustus Gloop. Get it right. Say his name.
Okay, and then there's the weird kid with the.
Mike TV.
Yeah. And there's the two girls. Who?
Veruca Salt.
Who's that?
One of the girls.
The one with the gum, who's always chewing gum.
No, that's
Violet.
Violet.
You're turning
Yeah.
Violet.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it
And then
doesn't
there's
matter.
Charlie,
You're good.
And then there was some other random kid who got stretched on the stretcher. I don't know. I swear to God, STG. Okay,
I don't think.
I'm trying to catch up with what
Have to
I'm
watch
doing,
it.
so it's okay.
so they were Laffy Taffied.
They were Laffy Taffied. Okay, you guys are gonna think that the rest is crazy.
Can't wait.
Okay, so the way that this is phrased in the notes is hilarious. So,
Good.
Lucian, who is Tamlin's like next in command, is there as well, and so Elaine and Nesta, who are her sisters, come out of the cauldron and they're fairies. It says, staring at Elaine, Lucian announces that she is his mate.
What the heck?
So in this
It's
world,
like Twilight.
yes, no, it is. In this world, you have a mating bond. Like your person is literally bound to you.
It's called imprinting.
Oh my
actually.
god. Yeah, no,
They
it's
zinged.
this is where it's very
What?
like
Zing
zing.
from
Oh,
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania. Yeah, they have the zing. They're like Elaine's like, who is this man? But Lucian is like, this is my
Wait, isn't
wife.
she like 15?
She's like probably like 16, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Lucian's been around for quite
It's
some time.
fairyland.
It is, yeah, but you like have this knowledge of like that is your person, that's your bond. Okay,
You
so
imprinted on my daughter?
She's a baby.
oh my gosh.
You nicknamed
I
my
haven't
daughter
even
after
seen
a
that
Loch
one.
Ness monster?
I only know that from TikTok.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I
Oh my
haven't even
god,
seen
you
that
guys,
movie.
we have to watch that.
We should.
Please. Patreon.
I'm down.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So, oh gosh. Okay. Somewhere in here. Oh, I'm really sad that I like did not get this part. But somewhere in here, Farah. Oh my gosh. Farah realizes that her mate is not actually Tamlin, but who do you think it is?
Recent.
It's Rhysand. Yeah, so that's why he was protecting her and taking care of her the whole time. So sweet, right?
Oh.
Because he knew that that was his mate, but she just didn't know that because she wasn't like a fairy yet. So he knew that. He's been taking care of her. It says, that night, while staying in the inn, Farah and Rhysand almost make love.
Almost!
Which I don't know where exactly they started to like fall in love in this process, but they did. They did. So they're in love.
Almost.
Okay, so almost not yet. It happens at some point. Okay, so Farah's under the spell from the King of Hybern. Wow.
Whoa, wait. what?
So while her sisters are being thrown in, she's helpless because she's like under some spell from him. So they like try to infiltrate his castle or whatever, and then she gets put under a spell while she watches her sisters have to be like going through the cauldron. So she and Rhysand actually, like, since they're bonded, they have like telekinesis kind of powers.
That's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, so they can like they have like a bond or whatever that they can talk through. So then Tamlin and Lucian are there at this whole situation where the sisters get turned. That's what they call it. So they get turned into fairies. Tamlin is gonna take her back because the king is like, oh, I got her, like, she's yours. Here you go. So she has to pretend now that she has been under mind control from Rhysand because she doesn't want to expose all of the secrets that she's a part of now. So she pretends that, like, something has happened where, like, you know, she's hated her time there and she didn't go by choice. Like, she has to protect this whole world that she's come to love, which is the Night Court. So she pretty much has to go back. And their bond is, you know, cut off for now so that she can go back with Tamlin and kind of pretend that she doesn't know all this information that he really wants to know. So then, you know, she's stuck with Tamlin again because she, like, can't get free from him. And her sisters are taken with Rhysand. Like, he's like, I'm going to protect them, like, till she can, like, return home to the Night Court. So he has her sisters, he's keeping them safe, and with his little like inner circle in their secret city, and they're preparing for like they assume there's going to be a big war with the king because now he has the cauldron, he's in full power, and he's going to like use it. So Farrah's stuck with Tamlin, Rhysand has her sisters, and all of them are preparing for war, and Farrah wants to be with him, but she's stuck with Tamlin. So that's kind of how the story ends.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like
and
we
so-
need to get rid of Tamlin.
Yeah, I can't remember why she's like stuck with him, but it's because she has a plan for how she's gonna like take him down.
Cool.
As like an inner part of the like, you know, situation, but she has to pretend like, oh, he trapped me, like I didn't want to go with him, but yeah, so that's all of book 2, and I'm gonna save the rest for next time.
So she still doesn't know she has powers?
I don't know. She starts to know at some point. Oh, you know, it's crazy. She starts to realize that she's growing wings at some point in this book too.
No way.
Mhm.
Dude, that
But she can like suck them in and out.
Ooh.
It seems like.
Does that make you more powerful, or?
I don't know.
It's
It's
just a
because she's
cool
got his
addition.
power, like his Illyrian power, just a little drop of it. So
Rhysand or?
Rhysand,
Okay.
yeah, because he's got wings.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that movie remember the superhero movie where that kid's like grating his
X-Men.
shoulder blades
Oh,
because his wings are
X-Men,
coming
yeah.
through?
yes.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
Has always stuck with
horrifying.
me.
I feel
That's-
like I finally just got rid of that picture in my
Oh,
mind
sorry.
after years, and it
No,
just
that's
came
a
back.
tough one.
That is really
That's
tough.
like it's hard to watch.
It's
Yeah.
really
It's
hard.
excruciating.
Especially if you're a
Oh.
kid and you're like, I can't wait to watch Wolverine in this
I know.
movie. Then you're like, it's literally like the first shot
It's
in the
stuck
movie.
in
And
your
you're
mind.
like,
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh my.
oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then he grows up and he's like,
It's
Yeah.
the
gorgeous.
wings. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Good movie.
It also, sorry, that also reminded me of that meme where it's like, your card declines after you get a tattoo, and then there's a picture of the potato peeler. Like, they're gonna
Oh my gosh, that's horrifying. Ugh.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
Gosh. Wow.
I've
You guys
never
haven't
heard
seen
of that
that meme?
before. No, I haven't.
Oh,
seen
it's
that.
fun.
I've
It's
seen
funny.
the meme, but I haven't thought about it. Like,
Ugh.
I don't like the motion you just did. Like, oh well,
My
there
bad.
you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It could also be here. Like, you could
Yeah.
also
True. Yeah.
Wherever you
Potato
got
peeler.
it.
Anywhere. Thank you,
You know.
John.
If you get a face tattoo, oof.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Anyway, yeah.
No more.
Anyway, so she's got these wings she can slurp back in, and
And I think she does know that she has access to some power, but she doesn't know what.
And
So,
you said book 3 is the best one, right?
book 3 is the best, yeah.
I think there's gonna be a war.
I don't know.
Kiki's really good at hiding it.
Really? Oh. I'm like, oh, am I?
Well,
I actually can't remember which
Oh, okay.
book has what parts in it, so, but book 3 is so
I
good.
assume. Yeah.
Just wait. I can't wait. That'll be next week.
Cool.
Cool. I like this series.
Really?
It's
Cool. I'm sorry it's really confusing. Sometimes I forget
I
that
love it.
I've
Yeah.
dove into the world so far that it's hard to explain the things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
think
so
it's more
deep
fun.
into it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
chaos makes it fun.
Yeah, okay, good.
It's
okay.
funny too because it's
I feel like, I
wait,
need like
what?
a whiteboard up here to like be like,
Yes.
Yeah.
this happens. But there's
Like a
so
family
much.
A
tree.
red string.
Yeah, there's so much that it's like
Yeah, yeah.
really hard to even read through the notes and know what to tell you because it's just so insane.
No, and I do feel like, although we are maybe not making fun of the book, it does sound like a genuinely
It
interesting
is
book, and
so
obviously
good,
so many
you
people
guys.
love it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have ever
Yeah.
read it.
Right? And
anyways,
notice
but-
smut is not even part of the plot line. Like they're falling in love and stuff.
Oh.
They made love.
Yeah,
It's it's like that is like the lore of
Almost.
some of it. But
Almost.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
almost. But yeah, it's kind of like the plot line of it is so insane
Right,
and
yeah.
so good that it's so worth it.
With the king, I can only imagine the King Burgermeister Meisterburger.
What?
No toys.
No toys.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know
That
what
is
that's
so.
from?
Is it the Christmas guy?
The
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Oh
Santa
my
Claus?
gosh.
No.
That's so funny.
Yes. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah.
That is so random.
a baby, Dingo.
A baby what?
A baby.
Oh my gosh, I do not remember those.
Oh, I
you guys
love
do.
those movies.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that.
that's so funny.
Okay, let's stop the podcast so we can
Okay.
continue on.
Okay, sorry. Let me close this out now,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you for listening to another episode of Relatively Funny. Please consider liking and subscribing to our channel if you enjoyed our content. We'll be back next week with more interesting topics. Talk to you next time.